What's up guys, I'm Nico of Camp Crunch, and this video is actually an unboxing, setup, and first look video of the Wacom Intuos. This is the entry-level line of pen tablets by Wacom. These are the new ones that were released in September 2015. This one's the photo, but there's also the draw, the art, the comic, yeah, those four. And they're more similar than they are different. In fact, they're almost exactly identical. But the reason why I want to mention this first is because they release these ones every 2 years or so, these entry-level ones. I actually reviewed the last one 2 years ago, and I'll leave that in the description box down below. I will also leave the prices to these newer ones down below, the best prices that I can find on the internet. So for those of you that want to purchase those, you can use those links down below. And yeah, let's get into the unboxing. What's up guys, I'm Nico of Camp Crunch, and today I'm going to be unboxing the Wacom Intuos Photo. Now this is a new model that came out this 2015. It came out at around September, and it came out with a whole bunch of other different models. There's the Intuos Draw, the Intuos Art, the Intuos Comic, and the Intuos Photo. Now a lot of these tablets are, actually all of them are exactly the same, apart from their bundled software, and also that the Draw, the most basic version of this tablet, has no touch feature. It only has the pen feature. So if you only want to use the pen, which really, when you're buying one of these, you really only want to use the pen. So you can go for the Draw, but this Photo was the only one they had in stock, and you know, this is a photography channel, so I decided to pick this one up anyway, even though I was really trying to get the Draw. Now the differences are that they come with different software catered to different styles of art. So this one comes with photo software bundled in. The comic comes with comic drawing software. The art comes with other drawing software, and the Draw also comes with the drawing software. So they all come with different sorts of software, but the actual tablet is pretty much the same with all of these different models. Now there's the small version and there's the medium version, which is a little bit bigger, but this one is the small version, which is really enough for the type of work that I do. I do, you know, mostly photo retouching, and I do some light drawing, which doesn't really require too big of a surface, and I use my laptop, and you never want the surface of the tablet to be bigger than your screen anyway, so this is a nice size for me. This has 1024 pressure levels and a resolution of 2048, I think, lines per inch. So that's pretty good. That's, you know, a lot better than what they had years ago. So pretty happy with this, and let's just get straight to the unboxing. I've always liked the packaging that Wacom uses on their stuff. Always looks really, really nice and clean. So when you open the box, what you get is the pen, which I've heard is a downgrade from the last generation actually. This pen is more basic. You still have your two keys up here, but apparently it does not have the eraser anymore. So we're going to see if it does or does not when we test this out in a little bit. Here is the tablet itself. It's actually it's really nice. I like they do minor improvements with each generation, but the actual hardware feels a lot better. So they do a lot with their design. You know, they always try to improve the ergonomics of the unit itself, and this one is super nice looking. It's nice and compact. You have your express keys at the top corners, just like the last one, but these ones look a little bit nicer, and they feel a little bit nicer also. You have the hole for the pen. You have your wireless module area. You have I believe this is the pen lock. I'll have to try that out later. You have your USB port, and let's see how you can open this back unit. And you have your extra nibs here, which was sort of an issue with the last model. People could never find where the extra nibs are, but they're there, and there is the nib removal tool. So that is where everything is hidden. Let's put that back. You also have your instruction manual, and let's actually see if they include the CDs for the software or whether you have to download it in the website itself, because a lot of the stuff these days are just download only. So, well, you have drivers, you have drivers here. The software is probably in the website. Oh, yep, software bundle download. And you have your USB cable, which is, let's see how long this thing is. Oh, it's pretty long. It's around, I'd say 5 feet long, so that's a pretty good length cable right there. So let's get into checking out the unit itself. Setting up one of these tablets, like this one you see right here, is extremely easy. They're not quite plug and play. I kind of wish they were, but it doesn't take you more than a couple of minutes to get started with this. So what you want to do is, of course, plug the unit in. One end goes into the tablet itself, and then one end, the other end of the USB, goes into your computer. Now after you do that, all you have to do is download the drivers that you need to make the tablet run smoothly on your computer. It also allows you to use the programmable keys, the express keys, and all sorts of other features that the tablet has to offer. So you want to download the correct drivers for your unit and for your operating system. Once you install the software, the drivers, this is on a Mac at least, you get the Wacom settings on your system preferences, and then you can change a lot of things like these express key modifiers, like I showed you a while ago, the 4 buttons on the top. You can switch those to do different things. You can change the pen, so you can change the tip feel. You can do the double click distance, make it larger, off, or somewhere in between. You can program the 2 buttons at the top of the pen. You can map the tablet so that you can make it follow the whole screen, or you can make it just a portion of the screen. You can do your touch options if you have one of the versions with the touch, standard gestures for the touch, and on-screen controls for, I guess that's the touch also, or on-screen controls. I guess I'm going to have to play with that and let you guys know what that's about in the full review. But you get all these settings once you install the drivers. So the way a tablet works, one of these pen tablets, is this pen basically becomes your mouse. Now you don't touch and scroll to move the cursor. What you do is you actually just hover the cursor over it, and your cursor on the screen moves. When you click it, that is an input. So that's like a click on a mouse. So if you want to click and drag, you click and then drag. If you just want to double tap, you can do that. And if you want to click, you just do that. So when you are using your brush tool, for example, in Photoshop or something, you need to use it like a real pencil, And that's basically how one of these works. A lot of people ask that question when they're first buying this tablet. They ask if you can see the image. Some tablets do that, but not this one. They ask if you have to drag the pen on the surface the whole time. You drag only when you want to do sort of an input. Otherwise, you just hover over the top, and that's how you sort of control the movement. So now I have Photoshop opened, as you can see here. I'm going to get the brush tool set. That is B, but you can just click the brush tool as well. And right now, it is on a pink color. And as you can see, it's super easy to just draw lines. Super easy. And this feels pretty good, but honestly, the last 3 generations of Wacom tablets have felt pretty much the same in terms of the ability to draw on them. So if you have one of the older ones, you don't really necessarily need to get this one, but if you want something new, then this one's the newest, latest, and greatest entry-level tablet by Wacom. And yeah. So I know this isn't a full review of the Wacom Intuos Photo or any of its brothers, the Draw, the Art, the Comic, but I think I'm sort of ready to give you my conclusion on this tablet because I've already done reviews on the past 3 generations, the 4 generations including this one. I've done reviews on them, and so I sort of know how these tablets work, and I can compare them to my previous experience from my older tablets. So Again, I'll link the last review I did of the last generation one down below so you can check that out. But basically, if you have one of the older Wacom entry-level tablets, whether that's the last Intuos when they did sort of the rebrand to the Intuos, or whether it's one of the Bamboos that came before that, because prior to the Intuos entry-level line, they were called Bamboo tablets. If you have any of those last generation ones and it's working just fine, there's really no need to purchase this at all. This is very, very similar to the last generation actually. So what you get are the 4 keys at the top. You get, the same size surface, same size resolution, same size pretty much everything. In the back, you do get your 3 extra nibs, and you also get your wireless kit option. So you need to buy the wireless kit separately, but you can attach that to this tablet. And so those features are really all pretty much the same thing. So if you're not too worried about the latest and greatest, then you might be able to pick up the last generation Intuos for much cheaper than this, maybe $10, $20 cheaper, and it does pretty much the same thing. In fact, one of the advantages that this one, or that the last one has over this one, is that this new pen actually doesn't have an eraser, and the last generation pen tablets did have an eraser. Now that's not too big of a deal for some people because you can just click the erase key if you're doing Photoshop or something like that. But it is an upgrade, in favor of the last generation over this one. So it's sort of a downgrade to this generation. But it's not too big of a deal. If you want the latest and greatest, pick this one up. The photo, the comic, and the art are pretty much the same thing apart from the bundled software. The draw does not have the touch feature. And yeah, I guess that's sort of my conclusion. If you guys still want a full review on this thing, leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to make one. But other than that, you've heard my thoughts on this tablet, and I hope this helps. Again, I'll have the links to the last review I did down below, as well as the cheapest prices I can find on the internet to this tablet. Again, I'm Nico of CamCrunch, and I'll see you guys in the next video.